Hello everybody, and thanks for being here for the Afterthoughts video regarding the movie Cast Away. Wow, what a fantastic movie. I absolutely loved it. It's a very emotional movie, a very sad movie, and a very thought-provoking movie. So all the good stuff, amazing. I guess what I liked the most was how smart the writing was. I mean, just from the get-go already, Chuck being this busy man, this FedEx worker, his whole life is about time, tick-tock, 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 every second counts, flying around, is busy, and then he ends up on this island where time doesn't seem to exist anymore. I mean, that was just smart, because Chuck could have had any job, he could make it work, but giving him that job, and he even says stuff like, we never allow ourselves the sin of turning our back on time, stuff like that he says. Amazing. And then he ends up on this island with no time. Smart, very clever. And then I also liked the way they established this endearing chemistry between Chuck and Kelly, his wife, and or maybe future wife, they weren't married, but just a few small scenes, and they accomplished to establish chemistry between them, that we really cared about them. We loved seeing them together. It was just so cute, and that is of course the basis of every good movie. You have to care about the characters, and they did that very smartly. And then of course the whole thing with the volleyball was mind-blowing. I mean, I have heard of the volleyball and Wilson, but I did not think that I would be so unbelievably touched by that situation when he loses Wilson. That was just, I could not believe how sad that made me. Wow. And of course, in the first place, even establishing this entity on the island that Chuck can have conversations with. I mean, that was just so clever to introduce this third dimension, so to speak, and have dialogue between him and the volleyball. Very clever. And then even the end, I was thinking like, wow, this movie is gonna leave me sad and depressed, how are they gonna save it after we learned that Kelly was married and had a kid? And then they introduced this other attractive lady, which it's perfect, because if you think about it, it could have been any lady, but no, the way it was written, they established this lady. She likes to live out in, no man's land. She knows about living secluded and being alone. And so there's no other woman that would understand Chuck better at this point. They will have a lot of stuff in common, and a deep understanding what Chuck went through. And I think that was so clever. Really, it left me with a smile and hope, knowing that there was some future romance in Chuck's life. So that was just clever. I can't get enough. It was awesome. And of course the filmmaking was amazing too. Little things like, when we're in Chuck's house and the camera pans down the shelves, and you see, if you pay attention, you see a certificate of sailing. Also, so Chuck got a certificate in sailing, and that just adds more credibility to the whole movie, that he knows what he's doing and he understands the wind and sailing. So it just lends more credibility. But even little things like when Chuck was in the airplane, in the little bathroom, and he was taking the bandage off his finger, and he was looking at his finger, and therefore the attention of the audience is now focused on a very little thing like the finger. You look at his finger, then bam, the door flies open, and we're in the middle of a storm where the airplane is going down. That transition was just so clever, and it was a real shocking moment. And so all that stuff is just brilliant, And then of course the overall message of the film, that you just have to keep breathing. If you're in a very, very difficult situation and there's no hope and there's just despair and depression or whatever, and to remind yourself that all you have to do is just keep breathing. And of course, that's easier said than done. I've been in situations like that, and to have the wisdom to just let everything go, and just knowing that all you can do in this situation is just keep breathing and find peace in that. You know, that's not an easy thing to do, but there was a very, very powerful message. And of course, it also teaches us to be grateful for things. I mean, when you see Chuck coming back and he's back in society, and there's this table with this endless food, you know, and everything he wants, and the guy even says, hey, if you need anything, just sign for it. You know, that's how easy it is. And the crab legs on the table and everything, and light switches, lights on, lights off, lights on, you know, and of course the fire, the lighter, you know, click and there's a flame. It just teaches you or tells you to be grateful for what we have in our lives, because oh yeah boy, what a situation this guy was in. Yeah, there's really nothing bad to say about this movie. Yes, if I have to pick something, maybe there's one line I didn't like. Well, one line when Kelly at the end says, I always knew you were alive. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I would be in a situation like that and I knew that my wife is still alive, I don't go and marry another woman to have kids. It's, you know, it's somebody else, but it's okay. It clicked when I heard that, you know, but it doesn't really take anything away from the movie. I still absolutely loved the movie. The soundtrack was very powerful, even though it was only a minimal soundtrack. But what they did, wow, it just gets you right in the heart, man. It was fantastic. So again, I loved the movie. I think it was a masterpiece, and I hope you liked it too. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.